Reboot your computers and call me back. This week on Dueling Review, we review Domino number 1. Impossible curves, impossible shots, impossible targets. Marvel's number 1 soldier of fortune is back in an explosive new series. Product of a failed super soldier program, Nina Thurman always made her own luck as a sharpshooter mercenary known as Domino. But what happens when her own powers betray her? The hunter becomes the hunted as every mercenary in the game smells blood in the water. Plus, a pair of beloved Marvel characters return. I have a feeling that Gail Simone is best when she is working with flawed characters. That being said, or tragic characters, that being said, I think we are all broken and flawed in some way, shape, or form.
I'm awesome.
But in Domino number 1, we really are dealing with, an emotionally, I don't want to say crippled, but emotionally injured character in the form of Domino.
Yeah.
And we just see them just say, hey, guy who tried to kill us, who's also a mutant, come stay with us and be part of our team. And it's just like, okay.
It is interesting. And the thing about Domino that is so perfect for Gail's writing is that she's been all over the place to the point where there's so much about her and there are so many extremes that Domino is almost a great big blank slate. She's been back and forth all over the place. She's been a funny trickster. She's been dark and brooding mutant. She's been dating Cable. She's been dating Colossus. She's been dating Thunderbird. I think that's Thunderbird. But throughout her history, and by the way, she is a Rob Liefeld character. Don't hold that against her.
Well, and that's why she's in this upcoming Deadpool movie.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and Cable is in there as well.
Okay. Is it just one of those things where if you're created by Rob Liefeld, you have to be in the Deadpool movie?
Yes. Have you not seen his new character that he sent a sketch out the other day of? The character's name is Pouches, and it's nothing but pouches.
I saw that character in 1993.
Yeah, pouches.
Oh, snap. That's fun.
So, this is not just a Domino story, right? We get a story that has, I forget the other
support cast.
Yeah, I forget the other two women who are also hit people, mercenaries.
Outlaw Inez Temple, who is a mutant.
Crazy Inez.
Don't call her Crazy Inez.
Right.
And she is also the great-great-granddaughter of the Outlaw Kid, who was an old-school Marvel cowboy hero. Mm-hmm. And Diamondback,
right,
who was a member of the Serpent Society, who for a long time, dated Captain America.
But not the same, not the same Diamondback that we see in the Luke Cage, right?
No, that's a different Diamondback.
Okay.
That's the first Diamondback. This is Rachel Layton, the second Diamondback, who I think appeared in one of the Captain America movies.
Okay. And then we also have this Willie Froman guy. I forget what his name is. But he's a new character that, at the beginning of this, they've been tasked to go in and rescue supposedly a lumberjack who's been kidnapped by this mob cartel who's stealing, lumber, $1 billion a year industry of stolen stuff. And turns out he's a double A, it's all a trap to try to take down the mercenaries. And because he's a mutant and really didn't try to kill them, is now a part of their team. They really, Matthew, only need 2 more on this team.
To do what?
To be I don't know, 6 of a character team that Gail does really well writing.
Yeah, but Gail did 3.5 characters on Birds of Prey for years.
No, it just seems like this is a really cool ensemble cast, or at least it's building to be a really cool ensemble cast in this.
Yeah.
And I like the different voices that are coming out, but mainly everything we hear in this book is coming through Domino and how it's her birthday and she's having regrets and she's, got screwed over on this job. And we find out that there's somebody going out to kill her, Topaz. Had a dog named Topaz. No, Lance had
nobody knows who Topaz is.
They do, because shows up at the end of the book and tries to kill Domino and finds out her luck has run out.
Yeah, throw her out a window in her underwear. Which
I like that.
Cool.
I like that concept. My luck has run out. We see a lot of characters in the Marvel universe who have luck, right? We have Black Cat, who runs on luck.
Long Shot.
Mm-hmm.
Domino herself.
Yeah.
What's that other cat with the thing in the face and the head? Oh God, now I can't remember the name. There's another just luck person I don't know. It'll come up.
Maybe it's just luck.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
With luck, you will remember.
Yeah, eventually.
Aha.
Aha! I see what you did
So
there.
from the story perspective, I am just hooked on what has come out in this issue.
I agree, actually. And I think that, I said this when we talked about it last week, and I said it during our staff picks this week. I have literally no attachment to Domino. And I've been reading Domino stories for years. I mean, I was reading New Mutants when she first popped up. I read X-Force briefly until I came to my senses. She was part of some really good runs on X-Force and X-Factor and X-Statix and Excrement. No, wait, that last one is not really a book. But I have no real idea of who Domino is because, again, she's an X-Men utility player. And she has never actually been a central figure, even though
Right.
she's had her own limited series. Even that was, I have a mysterious past and don't know which is the real me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the fact that this immediately hits us with this strong central character, a couple of cool characters to play off. It has the Gail Simone dialogue. We were going to have Jubilee do fireworks now that she's not a Dracula or whatever.
Yeah. And then Dazzler shows up. So you got Dazzler's in there. Deadpool makes a guest appearance. Colossus makes a guest appearance right before his wedding.
Yeah. Cable is in there. All of the people who show up to her party are her old X-Men friends being X-Men.
Yeah. It's kind of cool to see all that. And then just to kind of move them in very naturally too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
I think that,
Ooh, what?
There's a line in this issue that I think really describes not just this book and why it works, but Gail Simone's writing, where Diamondback gives Domino a new puppy, and they're talking about gathering strays, and Domino's like, "We're all strays here."
Mm-hmm.
That is what this is. So definitely, that's solid.
Yeah. No, it's very, 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 very solid writing. Like I said, I am hooked on this. I'm interested in seeing what comes next. It's very catchy. It's very flip at times. It also kind of showcases the write what you know, because if I'm not mistaken, Gail is up in that Washington State, Oregon State area that's full of woods. If you follow her on Instagram or Twitter when she's sharing pictures of her
in the hinterlands
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of writing that environment. And then to couple with the great writing is some fantastic art. This is art that I like in my comic books.
I do too. And I know I've seen the name David Baldeon, but I can't really say what I've seen it attached to. But man, this is some good looking stuff.
Yeah, I really just, it hits that sweet spot to me that it's like not so far off into Humberto Ramos land. It starts to get kind of close to that. But at the same time, it's a little, so on one hand, you have like Adam Hughes on the left side, and you have Humberto Ramos on the right side. He kind of fits that really natural art area kind of right in between.
Yeah, I would agree. There's some Umberto in here. One thing that I would say, and I'm not necessarily a fan of the artist in question, but there's elements of this. The cover that I have is done by Greg Land. And there are those photorealistic land elements that pop up here and there.
Yeah.
The moment where Diamondback steps out of her Jeep, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a really, really solid kind of well-drawn referenced moment. And it looks really good. And I feel like, I don't know. I'd never heard the name David Baldeon before, but I get the feeling that we're going to hear that name.
Yeah, you've seen him. He was the artist on the Monsters Unleashed series, which we read before.
We did the Kid Kaiju stuff.
Yeah. He also did the Spirits of Vengeance part of that series. No, he did the whole miniseries there.
That I just read. Yeah.
Issues 1 through 5. And I'm trying to see if he's got what else he's got there. He's got some Guardians of the Galaxy 1.1. He did Marvel Tsum Tsum number 2. Looks like Web Warriors number 11. Yeah, so he's been doing a lot of work with Marvel. And so, yeah, be on the lookout because it's really good. It's the art style that I really like. I love the colors. I don't have the colorist here in front of me. I don't know. Maybe he does his own colors, but the colors really pop, which is, again, something that I like when your colors stand out. And I know in this digital age of comics, it's real easy to add on the little slick, shiny parts. But there was something about this issue that I just liked from top to bottom. There was nothing in here that I could find that really turned me off or anything that I had a major problem with.
Yeah, this is a really, really great first issue experience because coming in not knowing anything about Domino, it will tell you everything you
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah. That was the other thing that I liked is she has not been in her own standalone series before, correct?
She had a limited series at some point in the 90s,
Okay.
but no, this is her first actual ongoing
Yeah,
solo
so
gig.
this felt super new reader friendly, someone who doesn't know anything about anything.
Hmm.
I know who Dazzler is, I know who Colossus is, I know who Deadpool is,
Did
but
you see Storm? Storm's in
Storm
here.
was there in the party, yes. I'll have to go back and look and see if I can remember seeing Cable in there, but there's another guy that she's talking to, and she's like, "Oh, have you lost weight?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I lost weight." And I don't know who that guy is. He's wearing some kind of glasses on his front that are kind of shaped in an X, and I didn't know who that was.
Oh, that's Agent X.
Oh, okay. So see, I didn't
That's
know who that
from
was, but it
Gale's
was
last run at Marvel, and at one point he was an enormous, really, really. I think he was possessed by the Shadow King and gained like 800 pounds.
cool. So see, you don't need to know who that person is because just
Hmm.
as a passing conversation, and it's more there for people that really know who the character is and can have some insight to it. But even if you don't know who Inez is, Domino tells you this is Inez. This is what she
Yep.
does. When they're talking about who's the other one,
Diamondback.
Diamondback. They're
Yeah.
like before she's even introduced, you know that she's the major ordnance specialist. She can blow things up and take things out. And even before she rolls up, you kind of know who her character is through interactions on the intercom and her blowing stuff up.
Right.
So it's really well written as far as introducing those characters and the layout and the colors and the art. Everything just good in this book. And I said on Twitter today, I hope everyone has a chance to go out and get Domino #1 because it is so good. And I really enjoyed this. And I was kind of, I like Gail. Gail is a really nice person. She's
Hmm.
really wonderful. She always has so many wonderful things and very nice and kind things to say about major spoilers. But, I want to go in with an open mind and not let how awesome she is influence me into the book. And I always go in saying, well, this could be really horrible. And it was really good.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I'm not. I like this book because of the writing. But I'm not here because Gail Simone is writing it.
Right.
I'm here because I know what Gail Simone writes, and I really want to see her do something. Because we've seen a lot of work from her in recent years in the DC universe,
Mm-hmm.
taking characters that nobody cared, literally nobody cared about, to the point where, Secret Six came out of a point where they're like, you can't have anybody meaningful.
Yeah.
Here's some people we don't even care about. And she turned them into this incredible cast.
Mm-hmm. And
And
reintroduced Ralph, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
that is true. Ralph came back in the New 52.
Yeah. So it's a good book, ladies and gentlemen. Go pick it up. I'm trying to think because I read this a couple of times earlier today before I took my son to soccer practice, and so it's been in my mind. But I just really I cannot find anything that bothers me in this book.
No, I agree. And I really enjoy the dialogue. I love the point where she does a belly flop and she's like, "Oh, lovely, mud down my cleavage."
Yeah.
There's a lot of really wonderful stuff going on in this book, not the least of which is Dazzler doing a David Bowie riff.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
it's yeah, essentially this is, you don't want to say the Secret Six word, but this is Gale doing that kind of
That's
Secret Six magic in the Marvel universe.
that's what it kind of felt like. That's what I was kind of referencing at the very beginning. Is that it feels like she's doing that in the Marvel universe, and I'm totally okay with that. Especially if you can take a bunch of characters that people are only passingly familiar with and
Right.
turning it into something that's really good. And I can't remember if this is ongoing or if this is a miniseries or what, but
Last I heard this was ongoing.
so this could be something that has a really long run for Gail and for David, and I hope the best for both of them to continue on this series.
Nice.
Listeners, how did we pick Domino #1? It wasn't because of Gail Simone's name. It certainly wasn't because we love all things Marvel.
Or all things X-Men.
Or all things X-Men. Yes, or X-Women's. But the reason why Domino #1 landed on our list this week is because of our patrons over at patreon.com/ Major Spoilers. Every Sunday, I head over to patreon.com/Major Spoilers, and I share a link to comics that are coming out 2 weeks from now. And I say, hey, listeners, here's what's coming out in 2 weeks. What do you want us to review on the next Dueling review? And everybody goes in and says, hey, we want you to review Domino. And so it's like, there you go. I'm going to put that on our list, and we're going to review Domino number 1. The thing is, you do not have to be a patron of Major Spoilers to go and vote. I have this open to the public so anyone can read it and share in the comment section. You do have to have a Patreon account. You can have a Patreon account without pledging money to anyone. However, when you go over to patreon.com/Major Spoilers and you start looking around, I think you're going to find a lot of cool things that are over there. Things like Why Do You Hate Me, which is Matthew's monthly review of a comic that you vote on. That is a horrible comic, and you make him review it and lament and whine and cry throughout the entire process.
Oh, I remember your names. I don't whine and cry. I don't have whining and crying.
Matthew
but what I do have
Matthew is
are
incapable
a
of
specific
tears.
Set of skills.
So here's the thing. For April, which will come out in the first week of May, Matthew will be reviewing Spoof Comics Green Lanterns. Oh, yes. And so when you do go over to patreon.com/Major Spoilers and you're digging around and you're like, hey, you guys do a Flash podcast? Yes, it's available to our patrons. You guys have a behind the scenes thing. You have a monthly chat. You have all this cool art that I can get, t-shirts, membership cards. It's all over there at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. And I think when you go and check out what we have to offer beyond all of the current things we have to offer, I think you might just sign up for $2, $5, or even $10 a month. Here's the thing. I said that we allow our patrons to pick our books.
Yes.
Not to pick our noses, but to pick our books.
Don't pick your friends.
Don't pick your friends. Don't pick your friends'
Don't pick your friend's nose.
However, this is the second time in the last 3 weeks that I've put that early release schedule on, and the book everyone votes on looks like it's going to be delayed. So instead of telling you what we're going to review next week, I'm just going to wait until the day before, or the day of the comic release, which one we will review based on all of your votes. So it doesn't look like we're going to get to Rom and the Micronauts, which is what we were going to do, because that looks like it's been bounced to April 25th.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why there's a delay, because the early release said it was there, but I'm looking at the releases for next week, and it's not there. So I may start delaying the posting of the Dueling review vote until like Thursday, like today.
Right.
And then let you guys vote between now and Tuesday. And then that way you have a more accurate list.
Mm.
And then that way we don't have to do a whole, hey, next time on the Dueling review, but you'll know that we have something that you've voted on over there at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Speaking of what's coming out next week, Boom Studios has Fence number 5, Kong on the Planet of the Apes number 6, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 26. That's part of that little Shattered Grid thing.
Yeah.
Steven Universe Ongoing number 15 and WWE number 16. Dark Horse Comics has the Black Hammer Age of Doom number 1. That's a brand new series set in that Black Hammer universe. You're all going to run out and want to get that. Also, Matahari number 3 and Vinegar Teeth number 4, the final issue in that series, arrives. DC Comics, next week is a big week for DC Comics, which may be why everyone else is like, we'll just release a little less. Action Comics number 1000 finally hits stands. That is a $7.99 book. Get there early, get there often. There is a variant cover for every decade from the 30s to the 2000s. So the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and today.
What does the music of the 30s sound like?
They say it's only a paper moon sailing up your butt. Hey!
Aquaman number 35, Batman number 45, Batwoman number 14, Damage number 4, Deadman number 6, Deathbed number 3 of 6, Harley Quinn number 42, Justice League number 43, Mr. Miracle number 8, and Superman number 45. Now that's a big gap there between Superman number 45 and Action Comics number 1000.
Yeah, it's like 955 issues.
Exactly. Dynamite Entertainment has James Bond The Body number 4, John Wick number 2, Red Sonja number 11, and also a bunch of, I guess, black and white exclusive variants coming out for that. Xena number 3 of 5. IDW Publishing has Assassinistas number 4. Crow Memento Mori number 2.
Oh, is Tom Servo in it?
I don't know. Did you do the first one? I think you did that first book of that.
No, I said that I was interested in seeing it on in the Bad Femina Herfnen, where we pick things and we're the staff. What do we call that?
The staff picks?
Yeah, I said that, but I didn't actually review it.
Oh, boo. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, number 65. Optimus Prime, number 18. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 3. Looks like they're doing a weekly release on that. Star Trek Discovery Secession, number 1. Star Wars Adventures, number 9. And Uncle Scrooge, number 35. Image Comics. Somebody said today, I have already pre-ordered the trade paperback for Black Barn based on Steven's review this week on the Major Spoilers podcast.
Fell on a black barn.
Kick-Ass number 3 arrives next week, as does Hate Mage, the Hero Denied, number 8 of 15. Matthew, that series is finally winding down.
I'm so sad.
Well, you've had, 20 years to wait.
I know, but endings are always bad. I say
not necessarily. Endings aren't always bad.
Are sad, and then you cry, and you're sad.
No, endings are not bad. Rumble number 5 and Warframe number 4 arrive next week. Marvel Comics has The Amazing Spider-Man $7.95. They also have The Amazing Spider-Man $7.99 edition. So you've got $7.95, $96, and $99 coming out next week.
Wow.
You also have Avengers $6.89.
Is that the last part of No Surrender?
Must be. Black Panther number 1. Finally, Black Panther gets his own comic book. Daredevil number 601. Deadpool number 300. Infinity Countdown number 2 of 5. And some people have been asking, what happened to the dual numbering? They're seeing things like Avengers number 1 coming out, Black Panther coming out. I thought we were supposed to be doing the dual numberings. And I'll have an answer for you. I don't know. I've looked. I can't find any official announcement. Some people have said variant covers are having the dueling numbers.
They're talking. I mean, they said, we're thinking about doing this, but I don't think they ever did it.
They did say that they were going to do it, but it was supposed to start with all this legacy stuff. And I don't know. I don't know, listeners. Venomized number 3 arrives next week, as does X-Men Gold number 26. That's the post-wedding issue.
Yeah, I'm liking X-Men Red.
Oh, are you? Cool.
Yeah, I haven't been reading X-Men Gold.
Well, you've got X-Men Extinction coming up. And I think it has to do with, because we don't know anything else beyond the teaser image that they released.
Uh-huh.
But it looks like they're trying to merge or remove or get rid of the time-traveling X-Men, the young kids, and the current version of the X-Men. Destroy the past, destroy the future.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yes, exactly.
Save me a seat on the bus.
Which one is the X-Men cheerleader?
Probably Rachel.
Okay. Baby Badass number 3 comes out next week.
I got my baby badass, badass.
That's not how it goes. Belladonna, Fire Fury.
Badass.
Oh my goodness. How many covers do we even have on this? Too many to
16. Count. There's the nude cover. There's the nude cover. There's the sultry nude.
15 covers.
There's nude,
Check
baked
this one
beans
out.
and spam.
There is a Killer Body cover and a Killer Body nude cover. There's also Lupine and Lupine nude.
Oh my God. I do not need to see nude dogs. Nude wolves. No, you're wrong and you're bad.
Black Betty number 3 comes out next week, as does Cal Exit number 2, which gets a second printing. Cosmo number 4 from Archie Comics. Let's see, who else do we have on this list? Fire Punch. It's a graphic novel, volume 2. Jupiter Jet number 5, the final issue there. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that final issue you will want to pick up, because there is a huge twist at the end of that. That you will want to pick up, because it is so good. Next week, Jupiter Jet number 5. Go pick it up. It's from Action Lab Entertainments, written by Jason Inman and Ashley Victoria Robinson. Yeah, I'm a little biased in my recommendation of that, but hey, it's a good comic, good people, good thing to support. Musketeers number 3 of 5 arrives, as does Ninja K, the first trade paperback, and Ninjak versus Vu, number 4, the final issue there.
Vu?
Vu. V-U.
The Valiant Universe?
Yes. Well, it just says Ninjak versus Vu.
The Valiant Universe.
Well, if it is the Valiant Universe, they should spell it out, Valiant Universe. Peekaboo, number 2. Penny Dreadful, number 9. Here's a book that, I don't know, Survival Fetish, number 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasted Space, number 1. Wonderful World of Tank Girl, number 4, over there at Titan Comics. And, of course, Zombie Tramp Ongoing, number 46. Normally, like I said, we'll jump in and say, here's what we're reviewing next week, but I really don't think we know what we're reviewing next week. Look for the updated version of this and get over to patreon.com/majorspoilers and vote. And we'll review it next week on Dueling Review. Thank you so much for taking the time and listening to us this week and everything that we do at Major Spoilers. So many of you listen to the entire Major Spoilers experience. Like I said, we could use your support. We could use your help to keep shows like this going, to keep our other show that we do, one of our other shows, the Legion Clubhouse, going. We're very close to the next Legion Clubhouse goal, which will make that show fully funded. We won't have to rely on one generous person ponying up the entire bill for that thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That person is super awesome, and this is the 3rd time he's done it, and it's a lot of money, and he's done that, and I'm eternally grateful and internally grateful, right? But we can't let that person just continue to foot the bill. So we need to get to that next goal over there at patreon.com/majorspoilers. And if you haven't listened to the Legion Clubhouse, Matthew, what is the Legion Clubhouse all about?
The Legion Clubhouse is a show where we, 2 Legion nerds, one a Legion nerd from the 80s, one a Legion nerd from the 90s, live together and have a wacky neighbor, and Mr. Furley is our landlord, and we talk about the Legion. Landlord. No landlord? Okay. We talk about the Legion. We talk about it issue by issue, looking at it not only just as a comic and not, pointing and laughing, lol, fail. We don't say lol, fail, ladies and gentlemen. No, we look at the comic and we look at the sociological perspectives and also lots of neat, fun stuff about every single issue of the Legion of Superheroes, except for the stinky ones. I mean, except for the ones that are so minded they don't count.
Well, we do have to review some of the stinky ones.
Eventually.
Some of them are written by Jerry Siegel. What can I say? But listen, that's the Legion Clubhouse. You can go find it over at Apple Podcasts. Of course, if you are just stumbling across Dueling Review, you can subscribe to this show too at Apple Podcasts or wherever you can get RSS feeds put into your podcatchers or whatever that they're called this week. And
your
then to support us, you can head over to patreon.com/majorspoilers. Remember, your contribution allows us to keep this show going, pays for our growing costs, and gives us the motivation to produce more content just for you. Thank you so much for checking out Dueling Review. We will talk with you next time when you will hear Matthew say...
Shamrock. It was Shamrock.
This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.